Welcome back to the channel JF Coin, where we talk about coins that could make you rich. Today we're diving into something huge, one of the most misunderstood and potentially valuable pennies in US coin history, the 1988 Lincoln penny. That's right, a 1-cent coin from the USA that in most cases is worth just a penny, but under the right conditions, could be worth hundreds or even more. Face screaming in fear, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let's get into it. Mantelpiece clock: the story of the Lincoln penny, a true American icon. Before we talk money, let's talk history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln on his 100th birthday. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and collector passion has grown nonstop ever since. Over more than a century, some of these pennies have become legendary in the coin world. United States. For most of its history, pennies were made of bronze, but in 1982, the composition changed to copper-plated zinc. By 1988, all Lincoln cents, including your 1988D, were made with 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. That's important because condition and minting errors can make a big difference in value. Round pushpin: what makes the 1988D penny special? Okay, so what's the deal with the 1988D Ultra Lincoln penny? First, the D stands for the Denver Mint, where that coin was struck. In total, the Denver Mint produced a massive 5,253,740,443 coins in 1988. That's over 5 billion pennies. So under normal circumstances, these coins aren't rare at all. Most 1988D pennies in circulated condition, meaning they've been in change, wallets, or jars, are only worth face value, 1 cent. Yup, just 1 cent. Brain, but wait. There's value! If your coin is special, here's where things get exciting. Some 1988D pennies can be worth a lot more, depending on two major factors. Why medium star 1. Condition grading: coins are graded from poor condition up to perfect, uncirculated. The best are graded MS, mint state, and even within MS there's MS 60 all the way to MS 70, perfect. A very high-grade 1988D penny in MS 68 or better, especially with vibrant red copper color, can bring hundreds of dollars. In rare cases, coins graded MS 68 RD red have historically fetched $400 to $575 and beyond at auction. White medium star 2. Errors and VRATS. Now this is where things get interesting. Some pennies have minting mistakes, and collectors pay lots of money for these. Magnifying glass tilted left: rare and valuable varieties of 1988 pennies. Check these out. Direct hit double die / double ear errors: some pennies show doubling, especially around Lincoln's ear or the lettering. These error coins can be extremely valuable. In fact, strong double ear 1988 pennies in top grades have sold for $3,000 plus. Even mid-grade double die coins can be worth tens or hundreds of dollars. Direct hit minting mistakes, off-center, die breaks, etc. Misaligned strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks can also dramatically boost value. Some error varieties can command a premium, especially if visually appealing. Money with wings. So, what is the market value right now? Look, for most 1988D pennies, you won't be getting thousands. Most are worth 1 cent to a few dollars unless they're in perfect, uncirculated condition or have a rare error or variety. That said, in the coin world we've seen examples of 1988 Lincoln cents, particularly rare double die or perfect MS 68 RD examples, sold at auction for hundreds and even over $1,000. Some hobbyists online even claim specific high-grade or rare error pennies can reach $400 plus, and in special cases much more depending on demand. So yes, amazing finds do happen. Magnet: how to check if your coin is valuable. If you've got a 1988D penny, here's what to look for. Magnifying glass tilted right: 1. Examine the mint mark and date. Are they sharp, crisp, clear? Magnifying glass tilted right: 2. Look for doubling or unusual details under a magnifier. Magnifying glass tilted right: 3. Compare color. Bright red is usually more valuable than brown or faded coins. Magnifying glass tilted right 4. If you think it's something special, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. That's often the difference between a penny and real money. Chart increasing why this still matters. In 2026 pennies might be just 1 cent in spending value, but for collectors they are tiny time capsules of history and minting art. Even when most are common, the few rare ones create massive excitement and can sell for amazing amounts at auction, sometimes into the thousands, especially if truly unusual or in perfect condition. Remember, every coin tells a story. And the 1988 Lincoln penny has more stories packed into that tiny copper disc than most people realize. United States bell closing, call to action. Alright coin lovers, now it's your turn. Pushpin check your penny collection. Pushpin pull out 1988 pennies and examine them closely. Pushpin drop a comment below if you find anything weird or special. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next video where we break down even more rare coins with crazy value. Peace out. Victory Hand Money Bag. Let me know if you want shorter versions, voiceover cues, or chapter timestamps too. Today we're diving into a tiny coin with a huge story, the 1976 Lincoln penny. But not just any ordinary one. We're talking about the rare, ultra and collector-worthy ones that are worth way more than their face value of just 1 cent. Some of these coins are selling for hundreds of dollars, even close to or above $400, and in rare cases much higher. So stay tuned because you might be sitting on treasure without even knowing it. Scroll 1. The real story behind the 1976 Lincoln penny, not a bicentennial coin. Studio microphone. 1976 was America's bicentennial year, 200 years since the Declaration of Independence, and we got special quarters, half dollars and dollars. But the penny, surprisingly, no special bicentennial design was made for the 1 cent coin. The mint stuck with the classic Lincoln memorial design that had been in use since 1959. Fire, but here's the interesting part. A standard coin can still be rare. 1976 pennies were minted in the billions at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, proofs, so most are common and pretty much worth face value in circulated condition. Magnifying glass tilted left 2. What gives a penny? Real value. Studio microphone. So what makes a 1976 penny worth $4.42 or more? 2 things, condition and errors/varieties. White medium star A. Condition, grading. If a penny escaped circulation and stayed in mint state, crisp, shiny, red copper, it can be worth a lot more than face value. For example, MS-65, uncirculated, often sells in the range of a few dollars to tens of dollars. MS-67 red examples can bring $150 to $400 plus from serious collectors. These premium values come from high-grade plus perfect surfaces. Backhand index pointing right, so a single 1976 penny, if professionally graded and in amazing condition, can easily jump into the hundreds of dollars. Meaning $442 isn't impossible, it's just rare. Brain 3. Rare errors that can make this penny expensive. Studio microphone. Now we come to the fun part. Error coins. A. Off-center strikes. If the penny was struck incorrectly so the design is shifted, part of the face will be blank. Depending on how far it's off, this error can be worth $20 to a few $100s in collector auctions. Firecracker B. Die break and BIE errors, cracks or breaks in the die that leave weird raised blobs, or the famous BIE. Error between the B and E in Liberty can fetch premium prices, depending on how dramatic the error looks. Light bulb C. Rare planchet errors, coins struck on the wrong metal blank. For example, a penny design struck on a dime or nickel blank, are extremely collectible and can sell for hundreds or even over $1,000 in the right condition. Backhand index pointing right. These are not the kind of coins you find every day, but when they do show up, serious collectors pay attention. Chart increasing 4. How the market really works. Studio microphone. You might see sellers online listing a 1976 penny for $1,500, $5,000, or even $20,000. But here's the truth. The actual market value is what real collectors will actually pay at auction or through a dealer. Real auction records show AMS 68 red 1976 penny has sold for several thousands in past sales. High-end errors also sell for significant sums, but not every error is worth thousands. Sparkles, so that $442 market value you hear about can be totally legit if the penny is a top-grade asterisk uncirculated asterisk example or a spectacular error variety. Think major off-center, dramatic dyed break, or wrong planchet. This is why coins with certified grades from PCGS or NGC often lead the market. Receipt 5. What you should do if you think you have one studio microphone. Here's how to check your coin. Heavy check mark. Look at the color. Red pennies usually bring the best prices. Heavy check mark. Inspect the date and letters for doubling or strange shifts. Heavy check mark. Check for blank areas or extra metal ridges that shouldn't be there. Heavy check mark. Weigh the coin. Anything not around 3.11 grams could be a wrong planchet. Heavy check mark. Get your best candidates graded by a professional grading service. That's how you unlock real collector value. Round pushpin. Don't just take a photo and hope. Real collectors value authentication above all. Checker flag OUTRO 7:30 8:00 clapperboard host holding a 1976 penny up to camera. Well, coin lovers, the 1976 Lincoln penny may seem tiny and insignificant, but it's packed with history and hidden value. Whether you're sitting on a 1-cent everyday penny, a collector-grade gem worth hundreds, or a rare error that belongs in a museum, now you know what to look for. If you want more coin value insights, rare error explanations, and market breakdowns, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Drop a comment if you found a rare penny in your pocket change. Maybe it's worth way more than a cent. Thanks for watching, and keep hunting those hidden treasures. If you want, I can turn this into a ready-to-record teleprompter script, with pacing and visuals cues, or create thumbnail text ideas and title SEO suggestions. Today we're diving deep into a coin that most people think is worthless, just 1 cent. But stick around, because some versions of this little penny from the year 2000 can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. We're talking about the 2000 Lincoln penny, and why collectors absolutely love it. You might be sitting on hidden treasure and not even know it. Direct hit. Brain INTRO, why a penny from 2000 matters host. Hey coin hunters and treasure seekers. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, because today we're going on a journey from just a penny to holy smokes that's worth money. United States' most 2000 Lincoln pennies started life as ordinary change, dropped in jars, spent at the grocery store, or forgotten in a sock drawer. But behind that unassuming date lies a world of coin history, rarity, errors, and serious value. Thinky face, what is the 2000 Lincoln penny? Host voiceover with graphics of the coin. The Lincoln cent has been America's primary 1-cent coin since 1909, when it was first issued to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It's the longest-running U.S. coin design ever. In the year 2000, the U.S. Mint produced over 14 billion of these pennies at 3 different facilities: White Heavy Check Mark Philadelphia, No Mint Mark, White Heavy Check Mark Denver, D Mint Mark, White Heavy Check Mark San Francisco, S-proof coins. That makes the standard 2000 penny very common, so most of them are worth just face value. Around 1 cent to a few cents. Light bulb, but what makes some worth money, host? Here's where things get exciting. Condition, mint marks, rare varieties, and mint errors can dramatically boost value. It's like going from loose change to treasure hunting. Let's break them down. 1. Standard 2000 pennies. Common, host. Your average 2000 penny in circulation, worn from pockets and pockets of change, is usually only worth around 1 cent to a few cents. That's normal. But collectors pay more for uncirculated, high-quality coins because they're shiny, crisp, and free of wear. Some uncirculated examples are worth tens or even hundreds of dollars depending on grade. Gemstone 2. Mint State and Red Luster penny host. Uncirculated coins that still have their original red copper color, what collectors call RD, are more valuable than brown or dull coins. Why? Because very few coins stay in perfect condition after 20+ years in circulation. For example, a 2000D Lincoln penny in top condition, graded MS69 read by PCGS or NGC, can sell for hundreds to over $2,000 at auction. That means a coin that looks like an everyday penny could be worth $442, $800, or even more, if it's in near-perfect condition. Money with Wings Firecracker 3. Rare era coins, where the real treasure hides. Host, excited. Now here's where legend becomes reality. Some 2,000 pennies weren't struck right, and those mistakes can be seriously valuable. Fire wide AM varieties. One type collectors love is called a wide AM penny, where the letters A and M in America are spaced wider than normal. These errors aren't easy to find, and some examples have sold for thousands of dollars. Planchet errors. Even rarer are pennies struck on the wrong metal blank, like being struck on a planchet meant for a larger coin. Examples have been known to sell for $30,000 plus in top condition. Brain 4. Proof coins, special minted beauty shows. The 2000s Lincoln penny proof coins were made especially for collectors and not released into circulation. They're highly polished and look like mirrors. These usually aren't worth as much as era coins, but high-grade proofs can be worth up to around $30 to $35 or more depending on condition. Trophy 5. What really sells at auction. Host, clips showing auction photos. Look at what's happening in the world of rare coins right now. Even pennies can nail insane prices. Pushpin in late 2025, the last US cents ever made, special sets of 2025 pennies, sold for a total of $16.76 million at auction. One set even fetched $800,000. That's how powerful coin collecting has gotten. Megaphone. How to check if your penny is valuable. Host, step by step. Here's what to do if you find a 2000 penny and want to know if it's worth money. Check the mint mark. No letter equals Philadelphia. D equals Denver. S equals San Francisco. Look at the color. Red RD coins are usually more valuable. Examine for errors. Is the spacing off? Is the design misaligned? Inspect condition. Shiny coins with no wear are worth much more. Consider grading. Professional grading can unlock big value. Pushpin. You could own a treasure. Host, close up. Every 2000 penny starts at just 1 cent, but with the right variety, condition, and rarity, that same coin could be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of real dollars. Money bag. If you love this video, smash that like button, comment what coin you want us to talk about next, and don't forget to subscribe for more hidden coin gems. Movie camera, fade out with rolling dollars and pennies graphic, checkered flag OUTRO, final teaser. Host. Remember, your loose change might be worth more than you think. So check every penny you find. You could be holding a fortune in your hand without even knowing it. If you'd like, I can also provide timestamps, a thumbnail title, and YouTube description text to go with this script. Just tell me. Today we're diving into one of the most misunderstood coins in America's pocket change, the 2010 Ultra Lincoln penny, often called the 2010 1-cent shield penny, and you will not believe how much some of these coins can be worth right now. Some people are calling them rare treasures, and at least a few versions have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. But here's the real truth behind the hype. Glowing Star, Chapter 1, The Story and Real History, Host, Voiceover plus Coin Footage. First, you need to understand why the 2010 penny exists at all. The Lincoln penny has been America's most iconic coin since 1909. That's more than a century of history featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait. For most of that time, pennies had a reverse design that collectors loved. But in 2010, the U.S. Mint introduced a brand new Union Shield design to symbolize Lincoln's role in preserving the United States during the Civil War. This design change was meant to represent unity. The shield with 13 vertical stripes tied together by a bar that reads 1 cent. It's a beautiful piece of modern coin art, and it has been used on pennies ever since. Collision, Chapter 2, What Makes 2010 Pennies Special? Host, on camera. But here's the twist. Most 2010 pennies are not worth more than 1 cent yet. If you've got one in your pocket, it's still worth 1 cent, just like rhymes with it. Faced with tears of joy, However, and this is a big however, certain versions of the 2010 Lincoln penny can be worth a lot. We're talking hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition, mint mark, and whether it has an error or special variety. Let's break it down. Pushpin, Chapter 3, Types of 2010 Pennies and Their Values, Overlay Chart plus Voiceover, Small Blue Diamond 2010 No Mint Mark Shield Penny, Most Common, hundreds of millions were made. Really only worth face value or a few cents if circulated. In uncirculated, nice examples can sometimes reach $10 to $30 or more. Small Blue Diamond 2010 D Shield Penny, Denver Mint. Slightly different mint mark under the date. Also very common. Most are worth pennies, but nice uncirculated ones can go higher, even up to over $20 in top condition. Small Blue Diamond 2010 S-Proof Pennies. These were special collector coins with mirror-like finishes. Typically worth a few dollars, sometimes $10 to $25 depending on the grade. Small Blue Diamond Satin Finish Pennies, sold in mint sets. A matte finish. Most are worth only a few dollars, though very high-graded ones have sold for higher prices. But wait. The real coin hunters want to know about era pennies and top-graded coins. Fire, Chapter 4, Rare and High-Value Finds. Host, excited. Here's where things get really interesting. Most coins are boring, but a handful of 2010 pennies have sold for insane money because of errors or perfect condition grading. Check this out. Backhand index pointing right in 2013, a 2010 D Lincoln penny graded MS67 RD sold for nearly $4,994 at auction. That means someone was willing to pay almost $5,000 for a single penny. Backhand index pointing right, the most valuable 2010 penny ever sold. An MS69 RD example that fetched over $1,000 at auction. That means a coin worth 1 cent in your pocket could be worth 100,000x more under the right circumstances. Chart increasing, Chapter 5, Error coins you must look for. Host, close-up of coin details plus magnifier. Now let's talk errors. The types of mistakes that make coins valuable. These don't come around often, but if you find one, collectors will pay serious money. Here are some examples collectors watch for. Magnifying glass tilt to left broad strike error, where the coin was struck outside its collar, making it look slightly stretched. Some examples have sold for hundreds of dollars. Magnifying glass tilt to left strike through errors, where debris got between die and planchet, distorting the design. Magnifying glass tilted left improper annealing errors, strange colors or odd surface from metal issues. Magnifying glass tilted left clash and die crack errors, doubled images or raised lines, can add big value. Magnifying glass tilted left missing clad layer, one side copper, one side nickel. Rare and collectible. These are the coins that separate collector gold from boring pocket change. But they aren't easy to spot. So stay tuned later in the video where I show you how to find them with your own eyes. Light bulb, Chapter 6, Real market values right now. Host, informative graphic. Let's be real. If you just pull a random 2010 penny out of your wallet, it's probably worth 1 cent to $2 max. Even many uncirculated ones are only a few dollars. But if it's certified by a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC and graded MS67 or higher, the value starts climbing fast. We've seen coins fetch hundreds and even thousands of dollars in rare cases. And that's the key, condition matters more than age. Direct hit, Chapter 7, How will you know if your coin is valuable? Host, checklist on screen. Here's what to do if you think your 2010 penny could be special. Yellow circle. Step 1. Identify the mint mark. Is it P, D, or S? Yellow circle. Step 2. Look for shine, red color, and eye appeal. Uncirculated coins are worth more. Yellow circle. Step 3. Check for errors under a magnifier, especially doubled letters or missing parts. Yellow circle. Step 4. Get it graded by PCGS or NGC. This can unlock big collector value. Yellow circle. Step 5. Watch auctions to see what similar coins are selling for right now. Megaphone. Conclusion. Call to action. Host, on camera. So don't throw away those old pennies. Even a coin minted in 2010, which you might think of as modern, can be worth real money if it's in the right condition or if it has a rare mistake. Have you ever found a 2010 Lincoln Shield penny in your change? Maybe one that looks too perfect to be just a penny? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your stories, and maybe your coin could be a hidden treasure. Backhand index pointing right, like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want more coin collecting secrets, value guides, and treasure hunts every week. Outro music plus end screen with recommended videos. If you want, I can also help you write on-screen graphics, title ideas, tags, and SEO descriptions to make your video more discoverable and attract collectors worldwide.